This presentation of Lansing Common Football Club is brought to you by the following: Highland Plastics, Die Hard, Moneyball, Ozone's Brewhouse, the Lansing Board of Water and Light, J. Biggs, Dean Trailways, Strange Matter Coffee, Gabriel's Community Credit Union, Greater Lansing Open Soccer, and Metronet. Good evening and welcome to not so sunny and not so pleasant Lansing, Michigan Eastern Stadium, home of Lansing Common Football Club. After an hour-and-a-half rain delay, the storms have subsided and we're about ready to kick off here in just under 10 minutes. Behind your press box, in the press box, it's myself, Cameron McLaren, joined alongside Luca Maloney. Luca, Lansing Common, 2 great games, 4 out of 6 possible points last week on the road. The Robins come back at home for the final time in the month of June. Luca, let's take a look back at those 2 games last weekend. Friday night matchup at the Romeo High School Inside Stadium against the Michigan Stars. Lansing Common, the better of the 2 teams from the fans' point of view, but no score for either team as both the Michigan Stars and the Robins leave Romeo High School with a point apiece. Luca, what did you see from that first game last weekend?
Well, we saw one of the fastest tempoed games we've seen in a while from this team. And really, Coach Josh Oakley was impressed with the way how the players kept up to pace with the Michigan Stars. They looked great. I thought that they were just unlucky to score goals. They had chances. They were going on target. They were either saved or they were just wide. Again, I think it was very unlucky for the Robins not to leave 3 points out of the Michigan Stars facility. But then they moved on to Sunday. They knew that they couldn't stay there and cry about a 0-0 stalemate. They had to move on, and that's what they did against Livonia City.
Yeah, and as we talk about that, multiple players frustrated as to the way that Friday's result came about, with a couple of great chances by Shetty Omar, Ty Uziak among the rest of them, having multiple opportunities to notch one on the board. But it was also the great midfield play of Lutram Shevku that was able to kind of jumpstart the Common offense after the first 15 minutes, where it seemed like Michigan Stars were really nipping at the heels of the Robins. But Lutram Shevku, cool, calm, and collected, was able to keep the game away from the Stars' fast forwards. And they just talk about his play a little bit. Just a great midfield presence, not only on Friday, but as well as Sunday. But we're going to stick to Friday right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, he played the 90 minutes against Michigan Stars and also played the 90 minutes against Livonia. Controlling the midfield was so important for this Lansing Common team. And Lutram just never gives the ball away easily. He's always making crisp, accurate passes, forwards and backwards. And simply when you give this guy the ball, you know something good is going to happen. You know he's going to keep possession. You know he's going to drive forward if he has the space and he has the pass to play into. Like I said, we voted him as our man of the match almost unanimously just because of the way he controlled the game. He was really the metronome of that team.
Yeah, and we talk about chances earlier just a couple of minutes ago. It was chances galore against Livonia City, but the finishing was not all the way there. As we had said on the podcast, it was as if it was Ben Simmons from the free throw line, as it seemed, in the first half for Lansing Common. Easily could have been a 5-0 scoreline after the first frame, but the Robins 2-0. They allowed Livonia to come back into the 75th minute as the rain started pouring down in southeast Michigan. It was a weird sequence of events where a foul was not called in the Lansing or in the Livonia back third, and they turned around and went full coast to coast, and it was slotted into the back of Andrew Nicholson's net. It was a much dismayed Andrew Nicholson, and a team that thought that a foul should have been called. A non-call on the field leads to a goal, and then all of a sudden lightning struck literally as we moved inside to the St. Joe's Sports Dome. There right next to the outdoor pitch, and played the final 15 and some odd minutes inside. It was an excruciating 15 minutes, and we talked to Coach after the game. It was a decent result going into halftime, but nervy moments in that final 15 minutes. Luca?
Absolutely. Like you said, it was very nervy. It was one of the few moments this season we've seen Coach Oakley and the rest of his team really stress on that sideline about closing that game 2-1, because we saw chances in the 88th, 87th minute where Livonia could have stuck one more in, and it would have been 2-2, leaving there with only one more point. And really, it was stressful. They were making substitutions in situations where they desperately needed balls cleared, balls won in the air. And I think tactically they got the game right in the last 10 minutes. 10 minutes that ended up being more like 15, like you said. A very stressful afternoon there, Livonia. But you know what? They went out of there with the 3 points, and like I said, they're going to move forward.
Yeah, and as we said, 4 out of a possible 6 points on the weekend puts the Robins at 5th place in the Midwest Premier League standings, and they're tied in games played with their opponents. They're 3 points behind their opponents from Kentwood. It's BiH Grand Rapids, BiH being for the acronym for Bosnian and Herzegovina, which is a majority of where these players on this team come from, they hail from. It's a very collected team. They've had a lot of time to create relationships and have a distinct bond that has led them to an undefeated start as it goes in the Midwest Premier League. Only 1 draw on the season, and their wins have come against decent competition against LK St. Clair and Livonia. They've already completed their season series against those 2 teams. Their only draw came against, it was a 0-0 result, I believe, at Livonia. But the one victory that, if you pass the litmus test and pass the eye test, it was a 2-1 victory, I believe, over the West Michigan Bearings in the inaugural Grand Rapids Derby that saw this club almost come out of nowhere and shoot just like a rocket, because in their past 3 games, they've scored 12 goals and haven't conceded 1. Luca, going into today, it's a very tough and aggressive team that that the Robins are going up against. What do they need to do to allow that pressure to go and catch this team on the counterattack?
Lansing Common, first of all, need to play the way they were playing in the last 2 games, which was fast, accurate, and most importantly, they were creating good chances. Now, the difference is, today you go and finish them. Again, this BiH team, like you said, it's going into its 3rd consecutive clean sheet behind goalkeeper Jay Torich, who will not be in the starting lineup today. And I think the Robins have to take full advantage of that, having that keeper who's been in unbelievable form just not be there today. So take advantage of that, even though you don't have your star forward. There are goal scorers on this team, and we've seen them smash goals in practice and in games.
Yeah, and as we take a look at the starting lineups for the visiting BiH Grand Rapids team, it's, as you said, no Jay Torich in the lineup. I believe it'll be Virad Vila in net. But you take a look at their roster, Ben Changic, one of the 2021 Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference all-tournament members for his work to bringing Davenport to a conference runner-up. They were 2nd place in the GLIAC soccer competition this spring. And then number 7, Jose Chape Lopez, scored a hat-trick last week against LK St. Clair. He'll be a man to watch for. And then it's the brothers Samir and Damir Shabanovich, who will be dressed as well today for this Grand Rapids side. And taking a look at the starting lineups for the Lansing Common Robins, it's a little bit of a makeshift team, as you would say, as 5 starters are out today, including number 1 goalkeeper Zach Kelly, number 2 on the depth chart center back.
Josh Adam.
His name has escaped me. That was my bad. Talking about the midfield magista, Marco Bernardini out again. And then up top, the 2 goal scorers from last week, Shedi Omar and Munir Shirali, are out this week. That's 5 starters. But taking a look at the lineup today, you're gonna see big minutes from the midfield. That includes Julian Burge and Esteban Russell, who have played magnificently since making their way onto the starting lineups in the past few weeks into the month of June. Look for them once again to play some heavy minutes. Luca, what surprises you most about this roster other than those 2 golden midfielders?
Of course, I mean, you still have your anchor in midfield, Lutrim Shefku, and you also got Noah Canlis. Noah Canlis in that game against the Michigan Stars nearly scored the winner late in the second half. Nearly scored the winner. He was driving up and down that right wing. Looked really good. I expect a really good game from him. And then we're going to see Ben Meshke from the start. Ben Meshke isn't a player who we've seen a whole lot from the first minute. Today we get to see him in that starting role. And without Shedi being here, this is an opportunity for him to show what he can do in front of Oakley.
Yeah, and as you take a look at that, the the striker duo between Ty Uziak and Ben Meshke. If you're Ben Meshke, you're looking to get just a little bit and play a little bit behind Ty Uziak because of the way that Uziak has been playing as of late. The shimmy and the shake, the one head fake, and he's in on goal. He was the catalyst, as it seemed, to the 4 goals that were scored against Inter Detroit 2 weeks ago here at Eastern Stadium. And look for him to once again be that playmaker, earn some more assists. As you said, he's got 3 assists on the year, all going towards Shetty Omar goals.
That's a dangerous partnership right there. But again, Uziak controlled that game against Inter Detroit a couple weeks ago. And he's a dangerous player to play against, both on the right and left wing and going through the middle.
And as we're just about to get underway, it was an hour-and-a-half tornado warning and severe thunderstorm delay. Both teams were asked to shelter inside as the weather got a little bit rough up here in Lansing, Michigan, but thankfully everyone has come away unscathed as we see the cars piling in for the Lansing faithful who have decided to make the trip and to support their hometown team after what many of us in the studio thought would not be a very pleasant night.
Yeah, absolutely. The weather started to get a little better. Cool air coming through the west side, I believe. And now as both teams take their positions on the field, we're looking for a nice, clean game.
Yeah, and as you see it, with the way that this pitch is, it's a turf pitch, but if somebody scores, it's going to be slip and slide galore, I would say, wouldn't it, Luca?
This is a goalkeeper's nightmare, really, because any shot driven down low is going to take a couple bounces before hitting the net. So strikers, beware.
Being the away team, BiH will get us kicked off into the first half. Lansing Common lining up in their usual 4-4-2, not the 4-4-2 diamond we're so used to with the holding midfield of Marco Bernardini since his absence. And we are underway in Lansing.
And it looks like Canlis is going to take that left side instead of the right. Stebby on the right.
Interesting to note that Noah Canlis, the midfielder, usually plays along that right side. He's been a beneficiary against the Michigan Stars. He looked very good as misplaced pass there by Postal Watt. Almost it hits his own guy and almost directly to the aforementioned Noah Canlis. Getting things started for BiH. Changich with a ball up forward. It'll be intercepted by O'Connor, and the Robins will look to break as a through ball in, just out of the reach of Ben Meshke. Great ball there by Aiden O'Connor. As play continues, Meshke going for the 50-50, but Postal Watt will get there first. Uziak wins the second challenge.
And let's talk a little bit about what Meshke can do. Meshke at Kalamazoo College, 57 games played, 24 goals and 13 assists.
That's a very, very high potent attack there, especially going from a college or Kalamazoo College being close to a lot of other players on the pitch. Kyle Scott and Aiden O'Connor, the West Michigan connection, continually for this team as Canlis runs along the near side line. It'll be blocked out by Changich. And a good start for possession for the Robins, as that's what Coach Oakley has always wanted for this team, is to spend more time in the opposing half and to keep the ball away from dangerous players, such as those that are on this BiH team.
And like we saw right there, Ty Uziak is a player who's not afraid to use his body. Despite being only around 5'9" in height, look how he guards the ball and shields it from the center back.
And the first shot of the game goes to the Robins, Kyle Scott, but his effort was nowhere near on target as BiH will once again look to regroup. And an interesting note is that BiH lines up in a very tactical 3-4-3, something that this Robin team has not faced so much this team. Coach Oakley saying this week that they line up similar to a lot of teams that they've played against, but not all the way similar, as Uziak down the byline. His cutback fails him, and BiH will clear the danger. Looking for a headman pass, but not getting it.
Right here, Hunter Gibbons down on the far side, claiming for a foul, given away.
Yeah, no foul there as Chef Q's run into a sea of neon green. And they'll once again, BiH looking to get things started, but a great tackle by Noah Canlis keeps the ball for the Robins.
Yeah, and Noah Canlis is a good wide midfielder to have in this team. Scored 15 goals and 9 assists in 68 games.
He's in on Meshki, looping the goalkeeper. And it's not in, and a great save there by Changic. Appealing for the goal, not given, as that ball skids off the turf. It gets held up, and Meshki thought it was in. It looked like it was.
All
But
players
once again-
and coaches with hands in the air, wondering what just happened. Wow, but that's a fast start to the game right here.
Failure by the linesman to catch that ball going near the back of the net, as a foul will be given against Noah Canlis on Changic, the savior of that goal, as Josh Oakley looks on in disbelief, wondering why that was not given as a goal. It's the second time in 2 games at home that the Robins have had a goal disallowed, or not called, I should say,
Yeah, we had
off the goal line.
Yeah, we had a header from Dante Morris against Inter Detroit. We thought to be in, but referee thought differently.
And a drop ball, I believe, will go against, as the referee mistakenly blew his whistle to halt play, as Changic will give it back to the starting netminder for Lansing Common, making his 2nd consecutive starts. Andrew Nicholson, the MSU product, looked very good, only conceding 1 against Livonia after basically keeping this team in it in his other start against Kalamazoo FC in a friendly just about a month ago.
Yeah, Nicholson's been one of those players who's really shown that he could step up to the plate when Kelly's not here. Experience at the collegiate level, and he was an All-American in high school. Excited to see him play.
As Crawford Jr. on the far side, he looks to play in Mendes up in front, but it'll be sniffed out by Gibbons and given over to Morissette with time and space. Closed down immediately, but Meshki plays the through-man ball, but too far in front of Uziak. Is worrisome signs already showing against this BiH team. Lansing able to play the seams.
Yeah, they're able to cut right through the middle, and look at the space that Ty Uziak has to just run in. With a guy that pace, you don't want to leave that much space to run through the middle.
Crawford trying to find a man up in front. It'll be knocked. It won't find its intended target in Chris Mendes, as Kyle Scott will be able to take the throw in. But very good play so far for the Robins, who's had a majority of possession here in the first 6 minutes. .50-50 in the middle, won by Canlis. Turned over to the far side to Uziak. He'll play a ball in. It'll be deflected and out for a Lansing corner. The first set piece of the game for either team.
And we know how dangerous Lansing Common can be on the set piece, especially from the corner. A couple goals already scored from that situation in the Midwest Premier League. Headers from Julian Burge.
Against Inter Detroit at Auburn Hills a couple of weeks ago. Beautiful goal by today's captain and East Lansing High School coach, if I got that correct.
The girls' varsity soccer coach, Julian Burge.
Canlis' service lets him down. It'll be deflected out for another Lansing throw-in. Set pieces will be one of the talking points of this game. Last week, multiple set piece goals for the Robins. Could have been, it seemed like 9, I should say, 2 weeks ago against Inter Detroit. Only 4 on the scoreboard, but Lansing Common today on a rain-soaked pitch. They're going to need to work on their set pieces if they want to have any chance. And a great through ball in. It's to Russell, the 50-50. Won by Samir Shabanovich, but kept to Russell. Still in and negated out of the penalty box. It'll find its way to Morissette. Put right under pressure there by Chape Lopez. It'll go out once again in another great link-up play for the Robins.
And another guy who was not available against Livonia City FC last week was Morissette. He was really missed in that left-back position, even though I thought Hunter Gibbons played really well.
And for his effort, Gibbons will be is the starting center back today. As O'Connor's ball lets him down a little bit. Canlis thought it played the deflection off of Changic, but the referee says otherwise. It'll go out for a goal kick. In the first 8 or so minutes, all Lansing Common so far, as BiH has been unable to get 2 to 3 passes strung together going forward.
Interesting opening 10 minutes here.
Morissette at the halfway line. A crunching tackle there between 2 BiH players and threw in. And the pass lets him down. Meshki had Uziak in on goal.
Meshki's quick to turn and find Uziak on the run.
And with the absence of the 5 goals of Shedi Omar, its production's going to have to come from other places, as Lansing looking to have that connection stay with Uziak and whoever striking partner he has. Meshki almost the reverse on that one, as he was just unable to find Uziak. As Postal Watt has it on the far side. And Common just looking to ever so slightly break down this tactical 3-4-3 that BiH has. They'll give them the time and space as Postal Watt is able to look up and plays a pass. Looking for Begovic, but too far outside. It'll once again go out for a throw-in for Kyle Scott on the far side.
And sometimes it's a big risk and maybe a huge reward for BiH Grand Rapids to play this way, because again, they're going to be outnumbered on the wing areas.
And as you say that going forward, Peyarito takes 2 guys on. He'll give it back over to Rebon. Finds its way almost to Crawford Jr. And a through ball played. Goes right to Andrew Nicholson as he'll calm things down and set up shop for the Robins. O'Connor immediately tracked down by Mendes, forced to go back to Lutram Shevku.
O'Connor was also our man of the match against Livonia City.
Getting the deciding vote, I believe it was Steve Beckman who said it, that Aiden O'Connor, both him and Lutram Shevku playing very good last weekend.
But only one could take the award.
Splitting the man of the match votes for both games. Aiden O'Connor, just a behemoth on the field. A great leg and great eyesight.
No, you look at him, you can't miss him. That's for sure. He's a tough guy to not see on the field. He has a big presence.
Begovic on the far side. Russell in the backtrack, able to get there, and O'Connor's able to block one, but Begovic again. His shot goes well wide. It'll be collected by Morissette. Pushed by the forward, Chape Lopez. No foul given. It'll go out off of Morissette's head. Back in, it's Peyarito. Over to Changic. To Rebon. Rebon able to walk in space, trying to find a man forward. A quick shot there goes off of Hunter Gibbons. He'll clear it, but only as far as Chape Lopez. Lines up and just over the bar.
And just a few seconds earlier, Oakley was complaining about a possible shove on the back of Dante Morissette. Was not happy with that, as Morissette tried to shield the ball and was shoved in his back, but no foul was called.
You're right, partner. Oakley standing in frustration, looking at the linesman after that shot went over the bar. Not too happy about the non-call.
And look at how Lutram Shevku just skips past a player. Just lovely stuff to watch from a midfielder.
It's great. And a long ball by O'Connor. Tries to find Noah Canlis, but that ball,
it's going to skip.
It's going to skip on a wet surface as this, where it's not drained properly. And once again, BiH will look to clear their lines and go out. Pass forward, able to skip around. Mendes, backtracked. Mendes, still going. Mendes, it's in! A great individual effort by Chris Mendes. He opens the scoring just 13 minutes into the match. And the Robins undeservingly go down 1-0.
Yeah, you look at that, how he got a touch, little turn, and then somehow finds that left corner with his right foot. If you're a forward, you got to applaud that. That's lovely stuff.
And against the run of play, it's BiH Grand Rapids 1, Lansing Common 0. On the great individual effort by Chris Mendes, able to work his way around 2 Lansing Common defenders. As Lutram Shevku will look to try to once again get things going for Common.
And this isn't the time here to completely go out of your way. This is the time to focus, get a goal in, get an equalizer in early, and keep the game going. It's very early. You're 13 minutes in. There's no reason for these players to be this upset.
Uziak with the in-swinger. Doesn't beat the first man in post a lot.
Yeah, Munir Shirali, usually the designated corner kick taker.
The second service almost finds a man in front. It's a deflection. Canless. Oh, and a great save by Vila.
Wow, that was just an unbelievable save by Vila. Noah Canless right there got the rebound. I thought in his head he was already celebrating that goal, but Vila came up like a cat pouncing on a ball.
3 Lansing Common players in the box had opportunities, none better than Noah Canless. As once again, Kyle Scott, the in-swinger, beats the first man on the back post. It'll be cleared by Shabanovic, only as far as Canless to Russell on the outside of the 18-yard. His swinger, and a great save by Vila once again.
Wow, I don't know what's in with these BiH goalkeepers, but they train. It's clear to see they train for all conditions.
There's something in the water in Kentwood because Vedad Vila is having a great game so far, just 15 minutes in, keeping his team from giving up the equalizer within 3 minutes.
It's going to be Noah Canless with the corner kick this time.
Canless, the right foot, the outswinger. Up in, and it's a goal! A great header by the big man in the back. It's Aiden O'Connor, and they levels the game in the 15th minute. It's BiH Grand Rapids 1, Lansing Common 1.
Celebrating like the king of Rome. Look at that. First of all, that service from Noah Canless was brilliant. And then second, the jump from Aiden O'Connor and the head. Then those neck muscles put to work and blasted with his head to the back of the net.
Aiden O'Connor.
First goal for Aiden O'Connor for the Lansing Common.
O'Connor using all of his frame. Mr. Soccer of 2019. Able to get the Robins on the board after giving up the early goal to Chris Mendes, as a foul will be given against Ben Meshki. And if you think about it, for BiH, postal weight, his clearance after Lutram Shevku's ball, it may not be anything as you look at it in review, but a great ball by Lutram Shevku. Postal weight unable to deal with it cleanly, results in 3 consecutive corners for the Robins, and finally able to capitalize. Third time's the charm. Aiden O'Connor, a great goal
By really one of the most important players in this team.
He's a workhorse at the back, a deserving goal for the young man out of Western Michigan. As the Robins are once again in possession, looking to go forward. They'll be pressed down. Mendes once again, a foul called against him on Lutram Shevku.
See, even when Shevku's fouled, his ability to maintain himself on the ball is second to none.
As Robins will once again get started in the midfield. Gibbons over to Morissette, who assisted on Lansing Common's first club goal. Kyle Scott, the beneficiary of that one in the record books. And for Morissette, it's been a tough time recently, including in practice, not getting a lot of offensive touches for him. But in the games, he's a very good player on the wings. He's able to stretch opposing defenses, especially midfielders, which opens up the seams for forwards like Ty Uziak and Shetty Omar to be able to get on the board.
And look at that direct pass up to Noah Canless. Just look how much space that opens. Direct ball, nobody in the midfield.
When you talk about direct balls, that is something that Josh Oakley said this week, was that how are you going to break down a high-pressing team such as BiH, as well as the last 15 minutes against Livonia, quoting, it's the direct balls. It'll take players out of the play, and it'll move levels. As Dante Morris set the push on the back of Chape Lopez as he goes down in a heap.
Morris
Kind of a retaliatory foul.
From that earlier instance. Postlewaite to take this free kick.
Once again, another free kick given away on this near side. This one will actually count, as the first one was not supposed to be blown dead by the head official. And it'll be an in-swinger from the right-footed Postlewaite. As Meshki gets a talking to about how the distance away from the ball.
I'm also going to mention that that was Noah Canlis' second assist off a corner kick.
Postlewaite's in-swinger hung up in the air. It'll be dropped by Nicholson. He's fouled in the process. I believe Rabone does not like that call, but it'll go against the BiH midfielder anyways.
You got to give the benefit of your doubt to your goalkeeper.
Correction, it was Samir Shabanovic on that one as Morissette plays a lovely ball up front for Meshki. Meshki still with it.
Wow, Meshki found
Crosses
that
the
ball.
field. Russell, he gets his pocket picked once again, and BiH is able to clear it away. Chape Lopez with it. Going back to Damir Shabanovic in a 50-50. He'll lose out. It's Canlis. A great play there as BiH having to backtrack. Samir Shabanovic plays it off of Meshki. A smart play by the veteran defender. As once again, nervous times at the back for BiH, getting caught in possession in the midfield. This time they do not pay for their carelessness.
Absolutely. One of the downfalls of playing a system like this is that you're not going to have that option to pass back to your defenders. Instead, your only pass back will be the goalkeeper if you're lucky enough to deliver a good ball to him.
Mendes gets disturbed there by Gibbons, who's up in the midfield out of position. And Peyorito has it now for BiH. They'll go back to Postlewaite. Able to beat Uziak's challenge. And up forward, it's Moses Crawford Jr. One-on-one with O'Connor. His in-swinger, Chape Lopez, gets the shot deflected by Morissette. A great block there by the Michigan State Spartan to deny last week's hat-trick hero from getting a 2-1 advantage for the visitors, as Postlewaite has it once again along the halfway line. And Peyorito looking up, and Lutram Shevku dances around one, trying to dance around the second, gets caught in possession by Damir Shabanovic. Shabanovic, once again, over to Mendes. Mendes, in on goal, a shot off the woodwork.
And Lansing Common nearly paid the price for dancing with the ball around the midfield and not getting it off quickly. We don't usually see that from Shevku, but he almost paid the price there for doing it.
Chris Mendes almost getting his second of the game after the dispossession of Lutram Shevku in the midfield. And Andrew Nicholson better kiss his left post because it was 2 inches from being inside. As Mendes once again. And a foul.
They always say the post is the keeper's best friend.
A foul given away by Rabone on Kyle Scott. He'll start it quickly. He'll find Canlis. Uziak spinning around. Postlewaite. Cut back. Puts an in-swinger. Won't find anybody. It'll go out for Vila to corral for a goal kick. Just over 20 minutes in, partner. An interesting first 15 minutes as it started to die down, as both teams are starting to feel how each other are going to play.
Absolutely. Lansing Common got scored and they responded, but now it's time to get things ready because this is going to be a long game. There's a long game ahead.
And Chape Lopez offside by half a yard. You could see it from up here. The linesman on the near side caught it early. And as you said, and as we've talked to Coach Josh Oakley, it's the second goal for this club that has seemed to be the most important. Josh Oakley wanting 2-goal leads, but in order for Lansing Common to have a stranglehold on this game, they needed to get that first goal on the board and get the second of the game back in quick succession.
Absolutely. One of the comments Josh Oakley made.
And in, Canlis. He's got one on him. It's Changich. Great defender, Canlis. It'll go out off of Changich in another dangerous corner for the Robins.
And Canlis has been very dangerous in this half so far.
And once again, it's another great ball by Aiden O'Connor that's able to find the man as Canlis goes short. The ball is held up in play as Vila will come out and collect for the men in neon. And a chance goes to waste for the Robins, but good link-up play leading to that corner as Shabanovic will look to get things started once again for Grand Rapids.
And the wind's starting to kick back here.
Rabone, time and space. He's able to pick out Crawford Jr. on the far side. He'll be closed down by Russell, but not in time.
It's the traffic in the middle where Lansing Common have to pay attention to, because there's going to be 2 to 3 guys in that midfield covering the center back and Dante Morris at all times.
And a shot goes to waste, trying to find Begovic. But the pass too far in front of him as Nicholson was out off his line early. As Gibbons will look to get things started once again for the Robins. And it's an interesting storyline for the young center back, Hunter Gibbons, from Costa Rica, who's supposed to play soccer, I believe, overseas this summer, but decided to stay up north in Michigan and has earned his way onto the field as one of Josh Oakley's favorite players in the back, able to give Josh Adams a rest when needed. And he's able to come on in big moments, a great one-on-one defender.
Absolutely, the former Spring Arbor University center back, Hunter Gibbons. He's been a staple for this Lansing Common team, coming off the bench and now starting games. His role has become really important.
And as we take a look, the two starters in the back five for Lansing Common, Zach Kelly and Josh Adam, not available in the squad today as they're playing in the Midwest Regional Championships, U.S. Soccer, for the Michigan Jaguars U18 teams. However, the team's not doing so well, falling 4-3 yesterday in group play, as well as falling 5-0 this morning.
And Uziak there, sorry to cut you off, partner, but Uziak there, just some crafty moves, but in the end fouled right there on the other box. This could be a really good set piece here for Lansing Common, because we know how Noah Canlis can swing these ones in.
Yeah, the goal that was scored, instead of the in-swinger, it's the knuckleball. Gets caught up in the air. It's something that Vila is going to have to be aware of coming off of his line. And it's also, you're going to have to be aware of the big man wearing number 22.
And watch out for Esteban Russell creeping up on that top of the box.
2 men in the wall as Canlis. The knuckleball will go past the far post, kept in by Burge. But BiH looking to stretch out on the counterattack as the ball is played in. Deflected down by Lutram Shevku, who'll win the 50-50. Clips the man, but no foul given. Kyle Scott in it with it in the midfield. Uziak wanting the 1-2 with Scott. He's not going to get there before Crawford does. To throw in for Common.
The Western Michigan pair over there of Uziak and Scott not able to get past the BiH defenders.
Just not on the same page on that one. A little bit clearer communication. And Scott was in one-on-one against Crawford.
But right now this looks like a game of being played in only one half.
As the chess match continues, Meshke with it. Skips one in. And offsides. Bar down. As Burge was in an offside position. But a great play and a great ball there by Meshke, unable to find Julian Burge in front for his 3rd goal of the season. Wouldn't have counted anyways.
Burge right there with the first time shot. Shatters the crossbar of the goal.
It's Lansing Common 1, BiH Grand Rapids 1, and Woodwork 2. As Changich looking to get things started again, he'll go back to Shabanovic. He'll switch the play. He's been open. Crawford Jr. along the far side, but immediately tracked down by Lutram Shevku. Rabone plays a man in front, and offsides Chape Lopez. And his shot though offside, clips the outside of the bar. As if the post wanted to say, not today.
Not today, my friend.
As Common will get things started, O'Connor finds its way over to Gibbons. Gibbons with time and space, able to pick Dante Morris in all alone.
Oh, that's a lovely pass.
Morris, he'll get there, play it in, and cleared out immediately by Postal Weight.
Morissette just slid over to the sand. Gets up a little gingerly.
Yeah, he fell into the long jump pit. For those scoring at home, it was 2 feet.
Watch out for that Canadian Olympic team.
Dual sport athlete, Dante Morissette. Football and long jump, or short jump in his.
Just an athlete in general.
Canlis with the in-swinger. Finds a man in front, but unable to get a foot on it was Burge. Chef Q, his blast goes just wide. As he was immediately challenged there by Chape Lopez. It'll go out for Vila to get things started once again for Grand Rapids.
And 30 minutes in, no substitutions made yet for both teams.
No, as it's cooled down a little bit here, 73 degrees earlier this afternoon, 89 degrees before the storms came through. A nice 15 to 16 degree drop as the rain is still coming, but we have a break in the storms right now as we're able to play this game so far. As the referee's discretion, up to 8:30 was the time allotted to get this shindig started. Started at 7:30. Luckily able to beat and find a patch of clear weather before the rain comes back as Chef Q against his 11 counterpart Peyorito is able to win the ball. The referee allowing play to go on once again as Chef Q dancing around like a ballet dancer.
And he's still not given the foul.
No foul as Chape Lopez was able to dispossess him. As Brent Sorg, the assistant coach, gives it a little bit to the center official as to why there was no play, ball dead.
A lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, a lot of arm grabbing, just not being seen by the center referee there. Chef, you still getting a little word at the center referee.
But all is fair in love and war as Samir Shabanovic will look to get things going once again, but his misplaced pass finds Julian Burge. It's Meshki. Meshki, the long range, and patted down by Vila.
And that's what you have to do in situations like this, in wet weather conditions. You have to test the keeper from long out. The ball's gonna bounce and skip along the floor. You've got to test the keeper, and he tested him there, and keeper responded.
And Changich looking to play a ball forward was stopped by Burge immediately. Great play there. As Gibbons switches the field of play over to Scott. Scott's ball will not find its intended target, but Canlis will be able to regroup. He's clipped down in the process, and a foul in a dangerous position is given away by Chape Lopez. As he got the ball but cleared the man as well as Canlis is down, tying his shoe. A little bit of worrisome for the trainers on the near side, but it's only his shoe that needs to be attended to. A slight gimp given.
And this is another brilliant opportunity to create a nice set piece run. Find the headers of big guys like Dante Morissette and Aiden O'Connor.
Canlis, the in-swinger, could go all the way. Still in the box, and Vila recovers. Don't know if he was going for the shot, but Canlis comes close to making it 2-1 for the Robins.
Boy, Vedad Vila has been a busy man.
As his clearance gets held up in the air. Mendes and Lutram Shevku tied up, but it'll be won by Burge. Russell with 2 in neon on him. He's forced to play back. All the way back to Aiden O'Connor, who gives it back to Andrew Nicholson. His first touch in seems like 7 or 8 minutes. But Morissette's touch lets him down as Rabone has it. Rabone intercepted by Burge. The midfielder coming back in defense, able to snuff that one out. As Common will regroup.
And here we are, look at them playing out of the back. just trying to find options forward, and there we go. He's going to find
set.
Ty Uziak.
Uziak shoves Shabanovic. It's given as a foul. Both players get up.
Little pat on the chest there.
As Shabanovic had the inside angle, Uziak not going to win that ball, gives away the foul and the free kick.
Shabanovic just quick enough to keep up with Uziak. Not many can.
The captain, Shabanovic, gives it forward to Changic. His pass is misplaced. They'll be picked up by the Robins at midfield. Kyle Scott, so clever with the ball, tries to find Canlis, but it's once again in a sea of neon as Grand Rapids will look to break. It was the other Shabanovic, Damir, who was able to take Canlis out of the equation and give it back to his brother to regroup. His postal weight. His pass gets hung up in the air. It'll go out for a throw-in. And Common pretty much directing all traffic so far in this match, giving up the one goal against the run of play to Chris Mendes on a great individual effort, as we will have our first substitution of the game. It'll be Nerman Chernkich coming in. And as we await who's coming off, a throw-in for Lansing Common in a dangerous position, as I said, controlling the run of play so far, giving up the one goal early, but immediately getting it back in quick fashion. And they've looked the better of the two sides so far, as Chernkich will come in for Begovic, I believe, in the midfield. Looking for more size, Chernkich will come in, replace an equally as tall Begovic. But BiH losing the battle in the midfield. And the substitute, Chernkich, gets his first tap of the ball with a header, forcing Common to regroup amongst the defenders as Gibbons has it. Morissette caught in possession is
just a little too long on the ball there from Morissette.
Payarito trying to find Mendes once again. His first touch lets him down. BiH giving Lansing Common time and space, but forcing them to try to pick apart the 3-4-3, the clustered midfield. And Common very successful at it in the first 20 minutes, not so much in the past 15 after the first goal. As Morissette his pass will find Uziak. It'll go out, says the near official, for a Lansing Common throw once more in the BiH half.
Right there in that final third. These throw-ins really become set pieces at this point, being so close and in such a dangerous area where 1-2 touches can create a good chance. There you go, Morissette.
And Josh Oakley has said repeatedly that when winning a throw-in, he wants to keep the possession, and so go inside. And unable to find it, as Chernkich will collect and give it to Crawford. BiH trying to start something, but it'll only go as far.
And the
as
rain
Aiden O'Connor, as the rain comes back down in Lansing. And the wind picks up as Kyle Scott drives the ball in. It won't beat postal weight at the 18, but Russell will win the second of the 50-50s. But it was Begovic, or not Begovic, but Changic.
Canlis.
And Canlis, in on one, tries to outside of the boot. It'll be only as far as postal weight. His clearance goes off of Burge. And a great chance there as postal weight's still on the ground from Burge's challenge. A great chance there for Canlis. His first touch, the pass let him down as postal weight's on the ground.
And again, Lansing, the more dangerous of the two teams. And this has been a reoccurring theme in a lot of games for Lansing. And Oakley really wants to just push this team to kill games off early. But against a tough opponent like we're seeing now, that they're saving shots, they're clearing balls out really well, every chance is crucial.
As the rain's starting to come down and the clouds rolling in, Changich on a waterlogged pitch. His pass up to Mendes, snuffed out by Gibbons, but only as far as Chernkic. As Luchum Shevku plays a wonderful pass to Canlis with space, tries to find Russell. He won't get there. It'll only be as far as Moses Crawford Jr. Being pressed there by Russell. He's forced to go back as Samir Shabanovic plays it over to the near side for Changich, and BiH will look to get things started. Pass picked out. Chape Lopez dispossessed, but Mendes collects the 50. Canlis with a great challenge. He's able to find Russell in the midfield. Russell will have to play it back as he was pressured there by two BiH defenders. And Lansing on the attack once more as Meshki taking on two. Meshki fouled in the process.
But look at that.
And another dangerous free kick given.
Look at that turn on the run from Ben Meshki, just letting the ball run through him, and he just carries it. And at that point, he's in between a sea of neon green where the only thing they can do is really foul him.
And going into this game, missing the size and physicality of Shedi Omar, Ben Meshki showing that he may not be Shedi Omar in the flesh, but similar properties still exist between them, as Canlis will line it up from 26 out. Oakley giving instructions to his team as Vidal Villa once again will be put to the test as the wall of 6 is created.
Again, Canlis lining up this free kick from what looks like about 24 yards.
Canlis, and it's over the bar. Too much under it. A great chance goes to waste. But nonetheless, great link-up play between Canlis and Meshki to earn the free kick and earn the opportunity and keep BiH in their own half. And what has been a very dominant display of possession by Lansing Common within the first 45 is Vila. His pass intercepted by Russell. Not enough under it, but it'll go forward for Mendes. Mendes tries the far pass to Chernkic. Chernkic still with it. Dances round one. The in-swinger to Mendes. Cut out by Gibbons.
Canlis' pass just hits the BiH defender first.
Changic up to Mendes. It'll find its way to Rabon. It hits a man in front. It'll be offsides on Chape Lopez. And Lansing Common able to escape unscathed. And getting things started once again as pressured on the far side is Kyle Scott. It's been a main staple in this first half is BiH, their press and their forward pressure working, but Lansing cool, able to negate the pressure from the Kentwood club as Nicholson's pass finds its way to a man in neon. It will be Shabanovic, gives it to Vila. A header won by Luchum Shevku. Infield pass to Canlis. It's on Meshki's foot. And it'll be blocked by postal weight and recovered by Shabanovic. Dangerous scenes once again, able to pick the seam. Noah Canlis and Ben Meshki. The connection still continues as a throw-in on the far side given to BiH. And Lansing Common trying to strike in the final 5 minutes of this first half. Looking dangerous between the three forwards. And I'll give Canlis his forward position, even though he's displayed as a midfielder. He's played a lot like a forward today, as a foul will be given up against, or on postal weight for his 2-footer on Julian Burge, as Russell will line it up from afar. With just under 3 minutes to go until stoppage time. Common looking to strike late in the first half.
I think a goal here before halftime will be critical going
Changes
forward.
the complexion of this game as Russell's pass finds nobody in particular. Burge able to keep it in. A great showing of muscle there. It'll only find Shabanovic. Able to keep that in. A great show of will as Chernkic is able to get the pass from Shabanovic. It'll go out for a throw-in.
And Lansing trying to play it quickly.
Canlis, his throw finds Uziak off the shoulder, off in front of Cherngic, able to beat Shabanovic.
Uziak using that body.
Uziak unable to beat Shabanovic for the second time. It'll be a corner in the 44th for the Robins.
And that's another example of Uziak using that smaller body to beat defenders. Just he knows how to work his position.
Canlis giving instructions to Uziak.
The rain calmed down here a little bit. We had those 5 minutes of a little bit of a monsoon.
And as the clouds continue to roll in, a few minutes left in this first half, controlled by the Robins, looking to get one more as Canlis is in swinger to the back post to Scott. It won't find anybody besides Crawford Jr. He'll clear the lines only as far as Russell. Russell will have to retreat all the way back to Hunter Gibbons. Put under pressure by Mendes. And his pass chipped by Chape Lopez, given to Rabone. And Rabone, a late foul given against Noah Canlis, as Rabone is still down at the halfway line. As we approach the 45th minute here at Eastern Stadium, Will Rabone still down on the halfway line as the referee talking to Noah Canlis as Rabone pops up. And a miracle recovery as he looked to be down with a apparent elbow to the stomach. Collision call given against Canlis as Rabone was able to pop up after a few moments of grief. It'll be postal wait to take. He gives the sign. It's blazed in. Nicholson.
Punched away.
Great play there by Nicholson as he had Mendes with him, and a quick shot from distance.
That looked to be dangerous if that dipped just a little bit more.
Shabanovic with the deep cutter. Didn't miss by much as he was waiting for that ball to come down on him. It didn't. And once again, Lansing Common giving away a free kick in a not so dangerous position, but the great play of the defenders for BiH able to create something out of nothing. As Common will once again have a throw in as we pass the 45th minute mark.
So Oakley just urging the team on to find something before the half ends.
In what could be their final chance of the first half. Morissette's throw intercepted, and Mendes takes on two. He'll be dispossessed by Shevku as Shevku plays it right into Mendes, trying to find Churkic. Quick off his line was Andrew Nicholson, and with one final kick, it'll be done. After the first 45, BiH Grand Rapids 1, Lansing Common 1. The quick strike and great individual play by Chris Mendes opened the scoring in the 13th minute, but a dominant display and 3 consecutive free kicks for Lansing Common. Aiden O'Connor with the header off of Noah Canlis' in service was able to find the back of the net and level the scoreline at 1 apiece going into this 45. We'll be back in a moment to break it down. You're watching Lansing Common Football Club. Welcome back to Eastern Stadium. Lansing Common and BiH deadlocked at 1 after the first 45 minutes. Second half about to get underway. But let's talk a little bit about that first half, shall we, Luca? It was a dominant display of possession for the Robins, the home side. But an early goal against the run of play by Chris Mendes. A great individual effort capped off with a far post finish. Luca, what'd you see?
Absolutely. You know, that was a great finish from the BiH forward, Chris Mendes. Takes a touch, takes a turn with his right foot. And for a forward to be able to pull out a pass with less than 2 touches and be able to put that in the far corner, that's a special move. And unfortunately, you're going to have to be very aware of what a forward like that can do going as a defender. But it was a great move. But, hey, the response was even better from Lansing Common. It was that right there was a collapse defensively for a couple seconds. But the response was great.
And sometimes for some teams, you need to get kicked in the teeth in order to know what it feels like to get things going. And that's exactly what happened. And it was really a nothing play immediately off the kickoff after the goal. Lutram Shevku just boots one trying to find Ty Uziak. Postal wait for BiH deflects it down for a corner. Unable to get it out for a header. And it was 3 consecutive corners taken by Noah Canlis. And on the third one, the big man at the back, Aiden O'Connor, his first goal for the club, able to notch one in off of a header inside the 6-yard box as Vila was left dazed and confused. Luca, going into the second half, changes probably going to be made for this BiH team as they were basically picked apart through the channels, it seems, with 3 at the back. What does Lansing have to do, knowing that those changes are coming, to sneak out and get the third goal of this game and go up 2-1 before conceding?
Well, what Lansing did really well is once they won the ball back immediately, they're playing passes forward. BiH is the team that is sending a lot of players forward to press, and it only leaves really 2 to 3 defenders on Ty Uziak and what is now Ben Meshke on that attacking side. That leaves a lot of space, a lot of chances to be created, and if you're Lutram Shevku, if you are Julian Burge, Steban Russell, you're playing passes immediately to that forward because you know once they get a touch on it, they can take it wide.
And great plays all around in that first 45 as Lansing Common unable to get the second just before the halftime whistle. They'll look to get things going because they will kick off and start the second half of play going left to right. BiH going right to left. No changes for either side coming out of the first frame. And we are underway for the second half from Eastern Stadium. It's looking to get underway. Julian Birch tries to find Noah Canlis. It'll be picked out by Crawford.
This time Canlis and Steban Russell will switch positions from the left to right.
Yeah, looking to cause a little bit of havoc on different sides as both Esteban Russell and Julian Burge will most likely have to go somewhat the distance due to the amount of players unavailable for this week's squad. 5 starting players absent from this week's roster, as we told you in the pregame, including the new Spring Arbor head coach, Marco Bernardini, taking the place of current Lansing Common coach and newly joined Michigan Jags coach, Josh Oakley. He'll take over the Spring Arbor program, and it's Marco Bernardini's alma mater. The 28-year-old will take over after a few years away from the college and look to give the program more success that they saw under Josh Oakley as a pass from Gibbons goes awry. It's unable to find Scott on the near side.
Well, going off of Bernardini's comments of him joining Spring Arbor University, we know he's a mastermind on the field, and we know how technical of a player he is. And it makes perfect sense to me that this guy is going to be a coach at a very good program. He's got already some coaching licenses and coaching experiences under his belt with some high schools. If you ever get the chance to talk to him, he's a great guy, and he has so much knowledge about the game. And one of the more veteran players here, they love to play with him.
Yeah, and as you see, Lansing Common able to play a completely different formation whenever he's in the lineup, plays mostly that holding midfield role to give players like Munir Shirali and Lutram Shevku a bit of an offensive advantage, as Nicholson will look to get things underway for the Robins, trying to get that second goal, but it'll be picked off and brought up. A pass to Chernkic won't beat Mr. Michigan and Aiden O'Connor. And once again, as both teams coming out of the first 45 minutes trying to feel their way around the pitch is still a little bit soaked from the rain showers that occurred 2 hours or 2.5 hours ago.
And just like we predicted, Cam, Lansing Common is going to take advantage of the wide area mismatch that there is. Again, they only have one defender right here on the left side and the right side. There's not a whole lot of movement from the midfielders and the attackers going towards the wide areas. So you're going up a 2v1 on the wings, which immediately opens space once you're outside, and then back into the midfield where realistically there's only the center backs and one central midfielder in there.
And if you take a look, last week against Livonia, as a foul is non-called against Esteban Russell, on the break, a final pass there by Peyorito, unable to find the man up front, Mendes. But going back a week ago against Livonia, it was the forwards and the midfielders for Lansing Common forcing Livonia City defenders to make bad decisions. It seemed like 2 goals in the first half were scored off of bad decisions by Livonia's defense, specifically their 2 midfielders. And today, it's been great link-up play through the channels for the Robins as they've been able to pick apart this BiH team in possession. But a great pass, Peyorito, quick off his line, Nicholson.
Nicholson, great read there from the goalkeeper.
And Churnkich irate with Will Rabon. He wanted that pass played into him instead of the one-on-one with Peyorito and Nicholson. As the rain and the clouds and the wind start to pick up and the umbrellas come out for the stands and for the spectators in front, as Peyorito one-on-one with Burge.
This rain is more on and off than the game.
And it's Rabon, a quick shot, and Nicholson equal to it. Mind you, Chape Lopez on my bad on that one. Chape Lopez with the shot.
And one thing we like about Andrew Nicholson in goal is that he's a very vocal guy. If you ever get to hear him in games, he's talking to everyone. He's talking to his center backs, and even his forwards can hear him. Just a guy with experience in between the sticks. A
long ball won by Meshki. It'll be cleared out for a throw by Crawford Jr.
And that's
Uziak's going to play it quick. Canless against Crawford. Canless dances around him. He'll bring it back to Uziak. Uziak tries to go past the man, and Crawford will sniff that one out. Able to go past Rabon was Uziak. Unable to get past Crawford, though. Uziak with it once more. He'll go towards the byline, tries to work his way around. Once, twice, no avail, as a foul will be whistled against Uziak, I believe. The linesman whistled, or threw his flag in the air and whistled down for a hold was Uziak, as Postal Weight is able to collect for BiH. Under pressure by Uziak, he's able to find Changich. Over to Crawford. His pass picked out by Shefq. Canless along the near side, dinks a pass over, unable to beat the final man, and Crawford will collect. Work his way around Canless.
Here, the Lansing players are targeting Crawford because look at his first touch. It's not been great tonight, even with the rain. It hasn't been great, and they're pressing against Crawford and making sure that his bad touches are paying a price.
Common having more men in the box, it seems, than BiH, trying to get the ball back in the BiH half. As Postal Weight will go back to Samir Shabanovic. He'll switch the play over to Changich.
And we see warming up on the sideline Joshua Rosendale, striker for Lansing Common.
Rabon up to Peyorito. Peyorito one-on-one with O'Connor. He skips past him, but deflected back. It'll be collected once more by Rabon. Rabon against Shefq. Finds Churnkich on the far side. Churnkich with space. Tries to open up. It'll go back to Chape Lopez. Peyorito! Off the bar.
And it's going to be signaled for a corner kick. Did it go off the? We're going to have to take a look at that. If it went off the crossbar or that.
I thought it went off the
field goal
crossbar, partner. The referee deems it took a deflection on goal. Not sure I agree with him on that one, but a dangerous corner. Their first of the game for BiH. The in-swinger, Peyorito. And a handball claimed on Postal Weight. He says it hit him in the arm on his body, but the referee deems it was outstretched too far. And Common will clear their lines. As Hunter Gibbons took a little bit of a knock there on that corner. But it seems that he is all right.
Nicholson pushing the team upfield.
Nicholson likes to play those deep balls as Scott has time.
Look at that passing accuracy from Nicholson. He's just able to pick those passes out wide. Back out to Nicholson.
Along the far side, Morissette. And Chape Lopez unable to corral that one as fireworks are being shot off
on the north end.
The north side, the north end zone, by a few compatriots that are celebrating July 4th a little bit early. As Shabanovic will get on the end of this throw-in.
Little early, but hey, we'll let it happen.
Uziak will force him to play it out wide. It'll go out for a common throw-in. Morissette will be up to take it. He'll throw it into space for Uziak. He's able to dance around one, and a great kick away by Postaway to Nicholson. And Nicholson's pass lets him down as it'll go out along the halfway line.
Yeah, Nicholson taking no chances there. He's going to boot it away.
Rabone has it. To find its way all the way back to Samir Shabanovic. He'll flip the field of play to Crawford.
Rosendale, Seth Russ, and Alex Scott are the Lansing Common players warming up on the touchline.
I assume Scott warming up for Hunter Gibbons, who's walking a little bit gingerly since taking a little bit of a knock off that corner kick just a few moments ago.
Seth Russ also had an appearance in the Livonia City match where he played like those last 10 minutes at the left back position. A little unnatural for him.
Postal wait to Chape Lopez. Gets cleared out by O'Connor. Referee waves play on, but it'll be collected by Nicholson as the trainer.
Deemed a head injury. If it's a possible head injury, they're going to have to stop the match and take a look at it. Athletic trainers on the field.
It's Chape Lopez going up against Aiden O'Connor.
Seemed to get back up there.
He's not going to win that battle 9 times out of 10.
Against 6'4" Aiden O'Connor, it's a difficult one to beat.
Just a little. As coming off the field, Chape Lopez will have to, for the time being, BiH playing with 10 men. After the possible head injury. And Lansing Common looking to make a substitution here as the fourth official is in conversation with Joshua Rosendale on the touchline. And a drop ball will get things started again. As O'Connor will look to start play once more. His ball stays on the ground. It finds Meshki. Dispossessed by Shabanovic, but Common will retain possession with Russell. Over to Morissette on the far side. He's got numbers. Morissette in the box. Scott, goal! Kyle Scott from Dante Morissette.
We've seen that combination this time again this season.
You've entered the twilight zone here at Eastern Stadium. Dante Morissette, his first assist since the game since the first friendly against Fort Wayne Sport Club in Lansing Common 2.
Almost a similar fashion, just a low cross, skips through the box and to the feet of Kyle Scott, who's at the back post, pounces that one, no mistake about it. And Kyle Scott once again, both of them, Dante Morissette and Kyle Scott, both showing their athletic abilities and their abilities to go forward as fullbacks. Wonderful football on display.
And that we said, partner, that third goal would be important, as in the 57th minute, Kyle Scott says, "How do you do, Verdad Villa? I'm going to score on you." It's Lansing Common 2, BiH Grand Rapids 1. Entering the game for the Robins, Seth Russ. Making way for him is Esteban Russell as Chernkic for BiH. He'll be closed down by the goal scorer, Scott, and a beautiful play by Scott to take the man and the ball at the same time.
Scott boots that one upfield to find his Western Michigan Bronco.
The other substitution for the Robins, Joshua Rosendale, making way for Ben Meshke, and what is a like-for-like sub for Josh Oakley. He likes that matchup, and he likes the play between Rosendale and Uziak. It was on display in both the Michigan Stars and Livonia City games when Shetty Omar came off the pitch.
And here we go again with how Coach Josh Oakley not only wants to get this goal to put himself ahead a goal, but he wants to go 2 goals ahead to kill this game right now.
Payarito closed down by Burge, and it'll go out as Wave. Chernkic thought he kept that one in, but a great challenge there by Julian Burge forced Chernkic to make a play, but his first touch lets him down as Common will regroup with a throw-in. As the rain showers continue off and on, we're in the middle of a dry spell for now. Hopefully broadcaster's curse doesn't come into play. But the Robins taking a 2-1 lead here in the first 15 minutes of the second half as another through ball is given. Uziak will get on the end of it. He's unable to keep it in. Postal Weight was able to spot that one out.
Oh, and Uziak over there on the sideline, a little show for the fans.
A great juggling display by him.
2 around the world, and a cheeky smile to cap it off.
And a substitution as Alexis Mendes will come on the pitch for BiH.
Crawford with the throw-in.
He'll make way for, or Payarito will make way for him as Postal Weight with the dummy on Uziak. Clattered in the end, a foul against Uziak. And this may warrant a yellow card as the referee reaches for his pocket as Uziak is given a yellow card. Josh Oakley in major disbelief.
Oakley not happy with the decision here.
He's wondering why the linesman didn't call it. If it was an egregious foul, why didn't the linesman call it? But we play on here at Eastern Stadium, the first booking in the 60th minute. A yellow card issued to Ty Uziak for being a little overzealous against the BiH defender, Samuel Postlethwaite, as Crawford unable to keep that one. And a quick throw in availability. He didn't spot it. Uziak had Rosendale with time and space. But Common will look to get their lines forward.
Here leaves a train of 3 players getting ready to take a throw in and then drop it off to the next.
As the convoy continues for the men in red, as Kyle Scott will take this throw in. He'll find Uziak. Deflects off of Postal Weight. He can't believe it. Back out to Scott. Scott will switch the play.
Big switch out to Hunter Gibbons.
Great pass, a great pass and a great find by him.
Difficult
takes a deflection.
Difficult there. No one really open for him as they were closing down that left side where Dante Morris set in and through the middle.
Shabanovic gave away that that throw-in on the far side after Gibbons' ball was looking for Rosendale up front. More set to take. Finds Rosie. And a clear ball by Changic, only as far as Gibbons and a...
It's going to be put down for a throw-in? Or it's going to be, looks like it's going to be a throw-in for a Common.
A foul whistled on the far side by the far linesman. Gives the ball back to Lansing Common. From us up here, we'll take that. Play resumes. Seth Russ with it.
Seth Russ.
Seth.
No.
Crawford unable to deal with it. Uziak has it. He's got time. He's got space to look up. Tries to take Crawford one-on-one. Skips past him. Finds Scott. Scott with the long range just wide of the goal.
And Scott right there was trying to line up across to the back post, but it was edging its way to the far corner of the goal, nearly scoring his second of the day.
A little bit of wind would have helped him there, partner. As he looked to either go for the brace or go for the apple.
And again, these crosses from the left side are just skipping past the defenders just because of the wet surface. That wet surface, the ball's going to skip and dance its way past the player's feet. For any defenders in that position that have played in a wet surface like that, understandable.
Crawford, his pass goes just out of the reach of Chernkic. who has not had a very fun time since coming onto the pitch.
Here we go.
Yelling at Crawford, as it seems, to play that ball quicker. But a slick surface, as you said, has forced those balls to go just outside of his reach, as O'Connor's put under pressure by Chris Mendes, still under pressure. Working his way into the corner. He'll be fouled by both Mendez's.
It's not easy to
given a corner.
It's not easy to take down a 6'4", 200-pound center back like Aiden O'Connor, but a little shove in the back will do it.
Alexis and Chris Mendes forcing O'Connor to backtrack, as Alexis Mendes will take this corner. The in-swinger finds the head of O'Connor, only as far as Chape Lopez. His shot is easy to deal with by Lutram Shevq, and unable to keep that ball in play was Josh Rosendale to go out for a BiH throw-in. And they'll regroup with Changic. Changic to Shabanovic. Seth Russ picks that one out, but only as far as Changic once again. As he maneuvers his way forward, he'll backtrack to Shabanovic, and his cross goes well wide of any intended target.
Gonna be Nicholson's ball.
As Nicholson for Lansing Common will be able to start again, excuse me.
Going also on the touchline, warming up. Owen Swan, Trevor Togi, Alex Scott, and Daniel Silva for Lansing Common. 4 possible changes coming up in later this second half.
A full platter of resources available as Nicholson gets this started once more. Alexis Mendes will find Chernkic. One-on-one with O'Connor. Chernkic still with it, takes it inside, tries to find the pass. It's Alexis Mendes. He blasts it over the bar. Worrisome signs at the back for Lansing Common.
Difficult there because he set himself up with one touch, and the only thing he had to do was just keep it under the bar. Sailed over. Still 2-1 for Lansing Common.
And after a first hour of play where it was completely dominated by Lansing Common, except for the 1 goal against the run of play, as Alexis Mendes gets run out of bounds by Julian Burge, BiH has come back after that second goal and has looked to try to equalize.
And this is what we were talking about. The second goal is crucial, but that third goal to keep a 2-goal cushion is equally important for Lansing Common to really relax in this game, or at least try to relax. Because there's no relaxing at this level being 2-1 up.
Especially in the last half hours we saw against Livonia, where things got really chippy near the end and really worrisome at the back. As Mendes receives the pass from Vela, and Morissette will pick out his pass. Seth Russ will look to get things started again for Lansing. Dancing around Lutram, Shevq, wanting a foul. Almost plays into the pressure, and that was a problem a week ago at Livonia City. Was Lansing Common, the game in hand, playing into pressure. Looking for another goal here. The Shevq's pass gets caught up in the turf, and Chernkic harassed there by Kyle Scott. He'll win the ball back. Scott against Shabanovic. Scott will play it in. Seth Russ plays it, tries to find Rosendale, only as far as Changic. No foul given on Changic.
Scott immediately tried to confuse the defense and give a cross from really far out to find Rosendale hanging out on that left side, and Seth Russ behind him as well. Clever play and really well done to win that ball back from Kyle Scott.
As we're talking about getting the next goal, will change the complexion of the final half hour here at Eastern Stadium as the storm clouds continue to roll in and the lights shining down on a rain-soaked pitch. Common looking for an insurance goal here. The Seth Russ 1-on-3, it'll go off Shabanovic and out for a Common corner.
And now this is where Common can take advantage and really make an effort to get that third goal right here off a corner kick. In swinger, what it looks like is going to be Noah Canlis.
None other than Noah Canlis, it seems.
The former Naperville High School in Illinois product. Alma College in Michigan as well. Canlis already has 1 assist on the day. Referee not happy with that. Look how close he gets to the ball. He has to get some distance between the ball and the player.
I have no clue what Chernkich was doing there on that play. Lining it up, Canlis. Already 1 assist in the game. Looking for number 2. The in-swinger. Finds a head at the back. Rosendale in front. Still in. Blocked out by Crawford.
O'Connor nearly had that one set up for
Q.
O'Connor had that one set up for him, but that second touch didn't quite work for him there.
Morissette tries to find Rosendale on the far side as Chernkich is able to knock that one away. Only as far as the halfway line where Hunter Gibbons will collect. Q way out of position, able to play back as Rosendale tries to play that pass through the man. And Crawford will collect for BiH. Postal weight. His pass nearly picked off as Rabone has it. Give it back to Shabanovic. And BiH trying to work their way around this 2-man pressure force of Lansing Common. Haven't been able to do it in the first half hour. But looking to try to get the equalizer. And they'll have to break down every level of defense that Lansing has had.
And he's onside.
A quick pass there by Alexis Mendes.
And BiH has been trying to get that pass working for this entire game. And that's really the first one that's been onside for them. And luckily, Andrew Nicholson was able to read that quickly and get out of his box and boot that one away.
And another substitution for BiH as Finn Pittock will come in for Chape Lopez at the front. A clear ball will find its way on the near side to Ty Uziak. He thought he won the ball back. Postal Weight says no, as Uziak with the gamesmanship will keep it away from Postal Weight. As Crawford will take the throw back to Shabanovic.
Uziak just advocating that it wasn't out on him.
Dispossessed there was Shabanovic as Burge commits the foul, and a quick free kick taken by Alexis Mendes will go all the way back.
BiH player still down after a tackle from Julian Burge, which seemed a little heavy.
No malicious intent there.
No.
Going in, but
it was a fair tackle for the ball. Just clipped the foot of the player. And here we are, just about 70 minutes into the game.
As BiH just looked to try to get that equalizing goal.
I think what Lansing Common need right here is going to be a substitution in the midfield. I think Burge showing some tired legs, get some energy in there.
And the most adequate substitution in the midfield will be Trevor Togi, if they do so choose to go his way.
But there are pros and cons, because either way, Burge is going to be that central anchor and head everything away, while as Togi is going to be a little bit more mobile.
As Moses Crawford Jr. will make way, it's Almir Celovic for BiH who will come in to that midfield role to help out Sammy Postlethwaite, or Postlethwaite, I should say, on the near side. Crawford not having the best of days at the back.
Nicholson.
And Nicholson with the drop ball, able to welcome the pressure from Chris Mendes. He'll wave him off and get things started again.
Lutram Shefke again.
Shefke in the middle, trying to find Rosendale, but his pass lets him down a little bit as Rosendale not on the same page, wanted to play through the channels instead of outside, as the fourth official deems that Damir Shabanovic can return to action as BiH will regroup along the near side. His first touch is Celovic, welcomed against Noah Canlis. He'll win that 50-50. He'll go off for a common throw. Just over the 70th minute mark, Lansing Common still with a 2-1 lead here with 20 minutes left. Worrisome signs at the back, but in a match controlled pretty much from start to at present. Lansing Common and Josh Oakley hoping for another insurance goal here to put things out of reach for BiH, who have yet to drop, or who have yet to not gain a point in their 5 games this season.
Noah Canlis. And it's going to go out to no man's land, but to the feet of BiH.
Shabanovich trying to play it forward, but Seth Russ able to dispossess. Seth Russ with it. Past one. Unable to beat postal weight as Shabanovich will recover. It'll go off of Seth Russ.
Seth Russ looking a little more comfortable there on that left side.
A little more dangerous.
A little more dangerous as well. They call him Danger Russ.
As postal weight quarterbacking this offense for BiH as a ball through. Churnkich. Nicholson quick off his line will boot it away as O'Connor shielded Churnkich. And once again, Aiden O'Connor and Narman Churnkich going at it in what has been a very good battle here in the second half after Churnkich came on.
Oh, absolutely. And BiH Grand Rapids still pushing to get that long ball through, and with no concentration, they can do it.
As Rabone commits the foul against Canlis, the one-arm takedown as Canlis still on the field. He's put in a good shift as well.
Absolutely.
Went down a little awkwardly, maybe got the wind knocked out of him, but he'll continue on.
Here comes Aiden O'Connor trying to find his teammates up front. Burge and Lutram.
The knuckleball almost finds the head of Seth Russ, but he was blocked by both Changich and Postal Weight as Vila was able to corral it and disperse.
Shefku and Burge a little bit more reserved in that central midfield role, playing a little deeper and allowing Canlis to step into that midfield role, a little bit more attacking, if you will.
Damir Shabanovich finds Chelovich. With time and space, he'll be closed down by the aforementioned Canlis. But Rabone, who has it, will force to turn back.
Only one goal separates both teams. Here we go.
It's up forward, Shefku clipped in the process, and a foul given. Postal, or not post.
It will
indeed,
be
Postal Weight.
It will be Postal Weight with a foul.
A clear challenge, and he'll be booked.
He just got Lutram Shefku a little late there, as Shefku was letting that ball through onto Seth Russ, and Joshua Rosendale gets clipped there at the end.
And we talked to Lutram Shefku last week after the Michigan Stars game. He has a certain confidence about him. Though he is short, he's willing to go for any 50-50 as possible. As both him and Begovic went in, he dispossessed a man, tries to find Rosendale on the far side.
Absolutely.
And gets clipped in the process, and from straight dead center, a dangerous free kick.
Lutram Shefku also a little bit older than most of the players here at 24 years old. He's got a lot of experience playing, and for Josh Oakley, he's mentioned him as one of the most professional players on this team.
Lining up into the wall. It'll go out to Shefku. He's taken down by two players. He'll be dispossessed, and another foul against Chris Mendes as two players exchange pleasantries, and Churnkich not happy, and he's going to get booked. He does not like the center referee's attention to detail in this game as Churnkich. He better be careful for dissent.
And with 15 minutes left, this game is going to get chippy if the players are not careful.
That foul was not called in the first half is what Churnkich is arguing with.
What should have been called. The referee let a little bit of aggression slide in the first half, but as this game is getting a little into the deep end, it's getting tough.
And Churnkich still not happy as he's giving it to the referee.
Scott
up in a flick by Canlis will be punched out.
It's going to be a corner kick.
That ball stayed in. It'll go out for a corner kick for Common.
That must have been one hell of a dip to go that down.
The Wind friends with the Robins today. Kept that one in as Noah Canlis. Well, once again on the near corner, he has a chance to earn his second assist.
Counts again, dangerous deliveries today from the corners. Trying to find the head of Morissette or Rosendale back post.
The in-swinger, back
and it's
post.
Rosendale!
Off of A deflection by Changic. It'll go out once again for a common throw on the far side as Rosendale in all alone.
And the technique you need to have to get that ball in the first time with the volley, side-footed, that's special, and he nearly pulls it off there. Callis will make his way to the other side for another corner kick.
After one corner kick goal already off the head of Aiden O'Connor, Vedad Vila has to have going through his head images of Aiden O'Connor smashing one past him. He needs to be careful because now he has a back post threat. Canless, the in-swinger, Burge, goal! It's 3-1 here at Eastern Stadium, thanks to the man in the middle, the captain, Julian Burge, his third goal of the season.
And again today, Noah Canless with a superb delivery to that 6-yard area. And Julian Burge makes no mistake with the header. Again, almost identical to what we saw with Aiden O'Connor. Those neck muscles being put to work. And a header with the force of 1,000 waves just blasted into the back of the net. Wonderful stuff for third goal in the Midwest Premier League for Julian Burge.
And with just over 10 minutes left to play, it's Lansing Common 3, BiH Grand Rapids 1 here.
And a little bit of a false start we're seeing.
A false start at the 50-yard line. Good one, partner. We have now included football into our broadcasts. As the PA announcer has a little bit of fun with this 3-1 lead. And Josh Oakley has to be pleased with the play of his midfielders once again. Is Julian Burge. He may not have had a great week of training, he would say that himself, but he makes up for it in game. And it's the heads of Lansing Common to make it 3 past an outstretched Vedad Vila. He'll have nightmares of both Julian Burge's goal and Aiden O'Connor's opening act tonight. As Kyle Scott almost dispossessed.
Noah Canless just twice on that corner kick just drives it into the penalty spot.
And set pieces have been friendly for Common as of late. And once again on a rain-soaked pitch on a rainy night here in Lansing, they come through. As Morissette deals with a ball, it'll go out. As Finn Piddock will get his first action of the game. And BiH scrambling here to come up with 2 goals in quick succession here with just over 10 left. Is Begovic. It's Mendes, Alexis Mendes, and a foul inside the box. It's a penalty.
Yes, Kyle. It looks like Kyle Scott just got there a little late on that challenge, and yes, from here it looks like it will be a penalty.
And lining up to take it, Damir Shabanovic. He didn't win it, but he'll look to bring BiH Grand Rapids within 1 against Andrew Nicholson. Steps up, slot save!
Andrew Nicholson dives to the left side and saves it.
Changic still in. Chernkic in a great
And it's Andrew
save.
Nicholson again.
A great
What a night.
Successive play by Andrew Nicholson, the Michigan State Spartan, just minutes away from his home campus. Keeps it 3-1 Lansing Common in the 80th minute.
What a night for Andrew Nicholson.
As the Lansing faithful gave him a round of applause, but BiH still threatening here. Changic intercepted by Luchum Shevku for the Robins. Scott looks up. He's got men on the far side. Russ plays it forward to Rosendale. Rosendale will take it to the far side where him and Changic will go at it. Changic uses his defensive skills to win that one off of him. And ball forward finds Chris Mendes. It'll go out for a BiH throw.
And Andrew Nicholson saves the first penalty for Lansing Common FC in their young history.
As we remember from the opening game, as Zach Kelly was unable to save a penalty in their first, I believe, Midwest Premier League game.
Sometimes you just see a confident goalkeeper at this time in the match that you know, no matter where you put that ball, goalkeeper's going to spring up to save it. And Nicholson, from before BiH even thought about getting the rebound or the penalty.
A ball sent in. Chernkic tries to get it. It'll go out for a goal kick, and a double substitution will happen as Cesar Alayo will come in for BiH. Making way for Ben Chengic. I believe it'll be a midfielder for defensive substitution. Chengic will make way, and
Daniel Silva comes on for Ty Uziak. Uziak, a player who has played in the last 3 games for almost all the 90 minutes. One-of-a-kind player here at Lansing Common. Special showing.
As Nicholson's punt up to the halfway mark will be won by Begovic. Postal weight, clearing it forward, trying to find Chernkic. One-on-one against Kyle Scott. Scott will win it. Cut back.
Scott just unbelievable using the body there to shield the player.
He'll give it away
Wins
to
it
Alexis
again.
Mendes and win it back. As Silva, his first touch since coming on. Almost clattered 2-on-2 as
wasn't adjusted quite yet to that wet conditions on the pitch.
Alexis Mendes took out his own player. And a
Russ.
turnover. Seth Russ to Rosendale. Rosie Nail still with it. And Postal Weight will recover for BiH as Rosendale looked to get the shot off, but Noah was unable to. BiH going forward. Oshani Perez over to Chernkic. Chernkic corrals it down, sends one in, and blocked aside by Gibbons and sent out for a throw-in. As Cesar Alayo, creeping in the middle, was neglected.
I don't think Johan Vasquez saw how much space he had to shoot on goal on the left side of on the right side of Nicholson's goal.
And for
instead, he went towards the middle.
In the last 10 minutes, partner, it's been end-to-end action.
And there's still time on the clock, my friend. There is still time on the clock. Nothing here is over at Eastern Stadium. We've seen this game go both ways now. Now it's time for Lansing Common to seal the deal.
And with just about 8 or 7 minutes plus stoppage time, the Robins will look to kill this game and kill any momentum BiH has going forward. As a shove in the back there by Oshani Perez on Daniel Silva. No card issued. It will warrant a free kick.
You know, the attendance for tonight for the fans might not be as big as the ones we've seen in the past due to the weather conditions.
Especially for a big game as tonight.
Especially for a big game as tonight, but it's still been electric.
Those that came out showed out.
It's been an electric atmosphere, and thank you for all of those who have supported this club.
And thank you for all those that are listening tonight that did not decide to come to the game.
Absolutely, with justifiable reasons.
Yeah, we feel your pain after having to be in the locker room for an hour and a half due to rain. Chef Q, canless, his first touch evades him. He had time and space. He was going to be able to pick out somebody. As BiH looked to get things going quickly. Shabanovic. He'll go back to Chelovic. Back to Shabanovic. And over to Postal Weight.
You know, and what the morale would do for this team with this victory today. This team is going to feel good, especially battling adversity without a lot of their starters tonight. And really important but young players.
Chernkic in space. Shabanovic. Samir Shabanovic unable to find Chernkic on the near side. As that's been the story for most of this game since the 35th minute when he came on. Is Chernkic already on a yellow card.
Seth Russ asking for the ball just to be played in quickly and try to find that switch over to the other side.
Great play there by Rosendale, one-on-one, and a foul whistled against him on Chelovic.
Rosendale not happy because he felt the hands on him too, but I guess the hands were going both ways.
He thought that Chelovic had slipped off the wet surface, and it looked like he did, but the referee says otherwise as a pass.
I don't know about you, partner, but I think it's time to bring the wetsuit out for tonight.
Yeah, slip and slides maybe after the game.
Might be it.
Actually, no, we're both wearing white dress shirts. That would be a terrible idea for our dry cleaners. Chernkic will play the ball in quickly, and the referee deems that the ball has to go all the way back to the 35-yard line as he deemed the ball never, the BiH players deeming the ball never came in as it got held up in the wind. But Samir Shabanovic will have to get things started again. And Postal Weight. After playing with 3 at the back, BiH has had to look to keep Samir Shabanovic, the captain, busy at the back with postal weight playing quarterback. His pass only as far as the head of Aiden O'Connor. And Chelovich over to Shabanovic. And a quick flick by Chernkich around.
And this game is going to bring a lot of confidence to Noah Canlis, who's played who's going to play nearly all 90 minutes today.
Unless some gamesmanship subs come in, and Seth Russ is able to boot this ball away, as Lansing showing signs of trying to kill this game, like they were almost unable to do against Livonia City just 6 days ago.
These are forward steps, as you would call it, for Lansing Common and Josh Oakley.
You have to go through growing pains in order to learn what needs to happen next.
Absolutely.
It's looking to get on the far side. Pittock, his cross in.
Yeah, tonight it looks like this team looked at the game film from Livonia and Michigan Stars, and they said, hey, we know what we need to do, and we know that we have to execute better in the final third. And here we go. This is it. This has been a terrific display of goals, passes, creation, and possession in the midfield.
And we talked about it in the pregame that chances weren't finished last week in the second half here. Lansing Common has made the most of their opportunities after a first half that saw them where they could have put a few past Vedad Vila, including one that was marginally in that the linesman was unable to see as it was cleared off the goal line by Changic. And Lansing Common can go forward here. Seth Russ to Shevq. Shevq skips past one. Back to Seth Russ. Russ still with it. Russ to the byline. Passes it back in. It'll be deflected and taken care of by Shabanovic. As the referee played the advantage after Lutram Shevq got cleared out. And a great play there by Noah Canlis to keep the ball away from Chernkich. He plays it forward to Rosendale.
Even if it's an 89.
He'll take it to the corner. Gamesmanship is Shabanovic. Takes it away once again by Rosendale. And Daniel Silva is able to clear it out for a throw-in. It was never out, deemed Rosendale.
Even if it's the 89th minute, Noah Canlis.
Turnover. Seth Russ. Oh, great play there by Postal Weight.
Russ has been looking for one tonight.
BiH can get going forward. A pass in through to Alexis Mendes. He'll find Perez. Perez with Chernkich on his right. Likes to go through the middle.
I think Oakley will
pass
have
it
a lot
forward
of
to
praise.
Chris Mendes. Alexis Mendes to Perez. And a goal. No. Off the side netting. My eyes deceived me.
I thought so too, partner. I thought that was put to the top shelf of that goal.
Add that to the list of bloopers already. And a yellow card issued, I believe, to no one in particular.
It's a goal.
I don't believe the yellow card was issued to a Lansing Common player.
No, it was a goal.
Oh.
It was a goal.
Ojani Perez trying to get the ball back as we're into the 90th minute. It's 3-2. Lansing Common over BiH as that ball did in fact go in.
And we're headed into whatever extra time we're going to get.
As the fourth official does not turn around and ask us if we would like to see it.
This time they didn't bring out the little boy. And it's going to be 5 minutes of extra time is what we're hearing. So everything is on the line here. And it looks like Trevor Togi's going to make an appearance for Lansing Common. 5 minutes.
Substitutions.
5 minutes could be a lot. Could feel like a whole lifetime.
I believe Trevor Togi, he'll make his way into the midfield, hopefully, as Lansing Common giving up a late goal in the 90th minute. And words have been exchanged between the BiH head coach and the center official, as BiH wants this throw-in clearer, and Coach Oakley for Lansing Common is almost irate, as BiH wants a yellow card for time wasting, and Coach Oakley wants an explanation for 5 minutes. I get it, there's been 3 goals, but 5 minutes.
Like, not only is the earth steaming with like all this humidity coming out of the ground, but the heads are steaming here.
Cooler heads should prevail as Trevor Togi skips around one.
And he's
Cleared out.
brought down.
He's cleared out. A foul given against Cesar Alayo. As Togi comes
and that's
in.
what you have. And you have fresh legs. You have to try to go past because you know what they'll do. They're going to foul you. And that's exactly what Trevor Togi needed to do there.
And a defensive substitution for Lansing Common as Joshua Rosendale plays only 20 minutes today. As Trevor Togi will come into the midfield.
And
he'll play as a false forward, but essentially...
And Lansing is not pushing any players into the box, as you can see.
They're going to play to kill the game. They practiced this week as we're into the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Lutram Shevku wanting to take it to the corners. He'll be dispossessed.
Now this is where your veteran players have to show up.
Going forward, dispossessed, Seth Russ. Alexis Mendes with it. He'll get a ball forward to Pittock.
Emotions are high here at Eastern Stadium.
His touch lets him down as Gibbons will look to go all the way back to Nicholson. His pass is held up into the wind that is going towards the north end zone.
Daniel
and a
Silva.
handball by Trevor Togi will be whistled down at the halfway line. With just about 2 minutes left.
Fans haven't left the stadium yet because they know anything can happen here.
Nerve-wracking moments here as Lansing Common clinging to a one-goal lead, 3-2, after a goal by BiH in the waning seconds of the 90.
And Nicholson punches that one away.
Perez with it. Finds a man out wide in Pittock. Olayo wants the overlapping run, won't get it. Postal weight will dummy away from Togi over to Shabanovic. He'll line up for a shot from distance, won't go. He'll give it once again to Perez,
Russ
who
brought
takes
down.
down the man. And a foul given against Perez. And Lansing Common will look to see this one out with just over a minute left to play here at Eastern Stadium. Nicholson needs to be careful here with his goal kick to not give possession back immediately.
Look how much space right here Noah Canlis has on the right.
His ball hung up in the air. It'll be won by Shabanovic.
And you have to win that second ball. That second ball has to be won.
Along the far side, Pittock.
Morris
Pittock with time and space. Floats a ball in. Missed by all 3 common defenders. It'll go out for Churnkich. One-on-one with Scott.
And like we said, 5 minutes can turn into an eternity.
Churnkich's ball only as far as Damir Shabanovic. He's dispossessed in the midfield. He'll return the favor and go down. And Togi with it. He'll get a challenge in by Perez. As Postal Weight will win it once again to Pittock. Pittock floats a ball in. Shevku deals with it. Once again, BiH threatening. Far side, cleared out by Kyle Scott off his chest. And in the 95th minute, what could be the final chance of the game, BiH with a dangerous corner. And Lansing Common needing an extra sub. Alex Scott thought he was going to be able to go win. The referee does not wave him on. For the 2nd week in a row, a substitution is not allowed to be made.
Yeah, another corner kick here from BiH.
He'll now let him in as both attacking substitutions. Seth Russ is coming off for Alex Scott as we're into the 45th and 46th minute.
It's getting serious. Everyone in the box defending.
The in-swinger to the far post, stays in, and clipped in a deflection. BiH claiming for a handball, none given, and it'll go out for a goal kick as we're into the 96th. And after the last chance of the game, maybe for BiH, as Nicholson has time, as an extra ball is played on the field by the ball kid along the far side. Nicholson yelling at his men to go forward.
It may be a genius move by the ball boy.
And going up, the ball is hung up in the air. It'll be won by Chelovich, given to a Lansing corner, or a Lansing throw-in. As we're now into the 47th minute of stoppage time, or 97th minute of stoppage time. Canlis, and with one final blow of the whistle, Lansing Common with a 3-2 gut-wrenching victory over BiH Grand Rapids, handing the Kentwood-based club their first loss of the season, and a very disappointing 2-hour ride home to the west side of the state. And after an hour and a half delay, mental skills prevailed And Lansing Common behind the heads of Aiden O'Connor and Julian Burge.
And not to mention those 2 assists from Noah Canlis tonight. Put on a show. He didn't stop until the last minute.
And
No, sir.
And another great shout out to the man between the pipes, Andrew Nicholson, the savior in the 80th minute. A penalty save against Damir Shabanovic. He'll be replaying that in his dreams. And Lansing Common in a great showing today, caps off the month of June unbeaten. A historical milestone for this team in their first ever year of existence,
and
to go unbeaten in a month.
And it's not over yet.
Something special.
And it won't be over yet, because starting July, you have Detroit City FC under 23.
And a great game there, as we unfortunately have to go. As Lansing Common, they have 2 games next week. They'll be on the road to take on Fort Wayne Football Club at Fort Wayne, a nice 4-hour bus ride starting the July slate of games. And on next Sunday, in what should still be a rain-filled week, they welcome in the unbeaten and still division leaders, Detroit City FC, who dispatched Inter Detroit today 4-0. They'll welcome them in on a July 4th showcase here at Eastern Stadium. A 2 p.m. kickoff will be on the air at 1:45. And that'll do it for us. Lansing Common, 3-2 victors here at home. From our wonderful producer, Scott Oberlander, behind us, the magical man who gets this entire setup going. Alongside Luca Maloney, I'm Cameron McLaren. We'll see you next week.